we want a quick and easy method of setting your seat height fairly roughly. I've had about 10 riders now come in who've done this, and this works really, really well. Their seat heights when they've come in have been extraordinarily close to perfect. So I'm quite happy with the overall ability of people to sense what I'm about to tell you and set their seat height. It does actually seem to work quite well for most people. You need to have pretty good body awareness, but it seems to be working really nicely. So what you want from your pedal stroke is control. Control is the primary problem here. As soon as you start to lose control of the bottom portion of the stroke because the seat's too high, you'll start to compensate, and compensation always causes inefficiency and also pain a lot of the time. So what we're looking for with the pedal stroke is a smooth transition from the extension of the knee to the flexion of the knee across the bottom section of the stroke. The way that this can be kind of set up yourself at home, sit yourself on the saddle, make sure that you're not tipping side to side too much, your kind of pelvis is fairly square. Sit your heel on the pedal with your leg fully extended, lower the seat or raise it so that it occurs so the leg is locked fully straight with your heel on the pedal. Drop the seat from there about 20 or 30 millimeters, so bring it right down so it's really, really quite low. Pedal on the trainer at a sort of a 20 or 30 minute load, something around an FTP style load.
For those out of trainer, you could do this outside.
You could, yeah. Just find it a long, straight, flat section of road and make it a solid but sustainable effort, right? So that you're not into that VO2 max sort of effort. It should be sustainable but hard. And then slowly creep your seat height up in 5 or 3 millimeter increments until you start to feel one of your legs start to get a bit choppy at the bottom of the stroke. Now, choppy is a bit of a subjective word, but it's the best word I've got. As the seat gets too high, at some point, your leg will start to go like this, and it'll be one of them before the other, almost invariably. If you're really lucky and you're highly symmetrical, it'll be both at the same time, but you'll start to feel that it'll start to feel a little bit like you don't have control of the bottom section of the stroke and your knee is just flickering a little bit like this. And then you want to just come slightly down below that point. You want to be maybe 2 millimeters below the point where that occurs to account for what happens when you get a bit tired and you start dropping your heels a bit. So raise the seat up until you start feeling that choppiness, and then just bring it back down 2 millimeters or so from underneath that point. And this will give you a really good starting point where hopefully you'll be able to, first of all, sense what I'm talking about. Most people can. This does actually work really well. I've had, as I said, a lot of riders come in who've done this and their seat heights have been almost millimeter perfect. Don't worry about what the number is. Don't bother trying to mathematically measure anything, because the angle at which this occurs of your knee and the length of your leg and the way that you pedal all vary the mathematical outcomes that come from the 109% rule and all this sort of stuff. They just don't work very well for a lot of people. This is really easy to do. You want to do this over the course of about 20 minutes or so, up and back on a flat stretch of road or on a trainer.